All right. Oh, okay.
Okay,
Welcome to the what is the name of this podcast again, actually?
I don't fucking remember, dude.
The uh the sober legislator or something like that?
The sober low Senate is what it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay. All right, yeah.
Um
Welcome to episode 2 of the sober low Senate. Starring John,
Alex and Spencer.
Gent, and
Shit.
I can't even fucking think of a goddamn name that rhymes with Jordan. I'm sorry. All right.
Just make it backwards. Nadraj.
I guess.
I'm
Nadra.
from India.
Jesus. You're gonna appropriate Indian culture like that, Jordan? What the fuck, dude?
Did you just assume my culture?
Yeah.
How do you know I'm not Indian?
Because I haven't grown up with you since fucking sixth grade. Fuck out of here with all that.
Yeah. Yeah, today's episode is brought to you by nothing because we're poor and unpopular. So, yeah,
Yeah, pretty.
I can tell you this right now. We're not getting any money for this,
Yeah, I was gonna say
and we're
we're
depressed.
literally only doing this because we have nothing better to do with our time, like at all. Other than sleep, be depressed, and like make just enough money to pay bills and like do it all over again.
Then go to
Yeah, I was
college,
gonna say, and
and
then
participate in the world's largest scam
and then go to college and slave away another 15 hours of your fucking week. God, don't even get me started.
for half a decade.
But yeah, all right, fuck it. Let's get into this. What? So
Okay.
what is this bullshit about Saudi Arabia? I heard something about it, and I didn't even really pay that much attention to it because I don't really like keeping up with the Middle East because that whole that whole area is just sensitive, and I don't like. I don't know. I'm weird.
Yeah.
It's just it's just weird to talk about that. But yeah, it says right here, Saudi Arabia driving ban on women to be lifted. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what are your feelings about that? Because
Oh.
I can tell you
Um.
right now that that is fucking bullshit that they're just now allowing women to drive.
I mean, think about the fact they're allowed to drive, but they're still supposed to be covered head and toe in fucking
In
black
Gucci,
garments. And yeah,
the women, okay,
some
no, I
fucking
was under the impression that
Yeah,
the
I
women of
mean,
Saudi Arabia were
I'm
not
not.
allowed to leave the house unless they had at least one Louis Vuitton belt.
lit- yeah, I mean that's like pretty much I mean like I don't know if that's like, national law, but I'm sure like many cities enforce that shit. The whole place is a fucking ridiculous theocracy. And like gonna lift this one thing. Like how
Oh,
many
you're
get the
being
vote? How many get
serious. I
okay.
thought you were like playing off of my joke about them wearing designer
No,
shit.
I'm saying like I'm
I
saying
thought I thought that was like a really long, elaborate joke about that, and you're over here fucking
nah,
talking about theocracy and shit. Like, okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
Jesus. No, but I mean, my thing is like, the problem. Hold on, let me get my train of thought back. Because so I was saying that, you know, thing specifically. Why not give them, if you want to make progress, why not give them the right to vote? Like give
Yeah,
them some way
that's
to participate in
Because
society.
Jordan, you got to take one step at a time. Don't you know? That's how, like, it's
Yeah,
just how
I would.
any type of
but I mean,
that's
how
how any type of legislation works. Like, it takes
Yeah.
90 fucking days
We're,
to fucking do
what are you gonna say,
but
Trent?
how actually empowering is having the ability to drive. I mean, when you're still deprived of education and basic voting rights. I
I
mean, as
mean,
far as human rights go for women in Saudi Arabia, it's a drop in the bucket. It's not even a big
if
drop.
anything, it benefits the men. It just keeps them from having to drive to the grocery store.
God damn, you're so right about that.
Exactly.
Like they're just gonna force them to drive around.
Exactly.
It'll be
I'm
they'll,
not even trying to be
Yeah,
it'll be
dude.
sexist.
Uber.
Now,
It's just the truth.
Yeah,
Like the
it'll
like
just be
the only
Uber. It'll
people
be Uber with women.
exactly the only people that benefit from that are the men. Like okay,
Yeah,
whoopee, women can drive now. Go to the
it'll be
grocery
like
store, bitch. Like that
there'll be
is
like an Uber
exactly
app,
what it's gonna
but
be.
they won't get paid.
Exactly.
They'll
Like
literally just be forced to drive people around. Like that's it.
he said, "Oh my God, you're so fucking right." I see, Jordan. This is why I fucks with you.
Jeez.
No,
Yeah, I
honestly,
mean,
I mean,
uh, okay, here.
to me, it seems that, I mean, okay, objectively looking at it, yeah, it's a good thing. It's just another basic right that they should be able
Yeah,
to
I mean,
fucking have. Like they're adults, they can drive cars. Like come on now. But it does I mean it does say something about the Middle East and Islam and like the way that that has always gone down in the Middle East. I mean, look like
yeah, I
you
mean,
want to talk about patriarchy. God damn, look at Islam. Look at that shit and tell me that that shit is okay and that it is a religion of peace
yeah.
because that shit is the farthest thing from it. In my opinion, I think that it's fucking sick that a woman who has the same opportunity as a man can grow up in a society where just because she was born as a woman isn't presented the same opportunity. That just doesn't make sense.
Well,
I don't I don't know.
I was telling Trent that uh, I agree that there's like a huge patriarchy in the Middle East, but I feel like a lot of people in the West seem to think that's like the only problem.
Oh, I mean, they
And
have
it's
a
like, no,
lot
I
of
mean,
problems.
the truth
I
is,
mean, I'm sure their economies are
well,
in
hold up,
shambles. Like,
hear me out here, hear me out here. Trent, I was saying like, what analogy did I use? You can't cut off a branch to uproot the tree. I mean,
You
like,
can't like cut down a tree by shrinking a branch or something like that.
yes, like because the simple
Yeah.
fact is that the problems with women rights in the middle in countries like Saudi Arabia are they're merely umbrella problems from the sole problem. So the real problem is Islam. Um, not not just specifically Islam, but just the fact that they enforce it as a theocracy. That it's not a the religion. There's no separation between church and
this
state.
person tweeted, "You want a statement? Here is one." And then put in quotations. Saudi Arabia will never be the same again. The rain begins with a single drop. Hashtag women to drive with a heart emoji.
I guess.
I mean,
I
if
mean,
honestly,
I,
like I
I
get it, you know, it's something that they've never been able to do. So the fact that they're able to do it
yeah. I
now, like
mean, it is pretty
okay,
empowering.
it's progress. We'll give them that. How about that? Well, you know,
Yeah.
we'll end this topic on a very very positive note. It's progress. Congrats! Shout out to Saudi Arabia. All right, end of that topic. Um, shit. I don't know why I ended that so fast. I don't even have anything else to talk about.
Dude, we could talk about Roy Moore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
you're.
so let me give you a little background here. Let me get a
I
little
was gonna say
background.
I'm googling
Um,
Roy Moore as we speak. So.
okay, Jeff Sessions' vacant Senate seat was left up to
Okay,
election
he's former.
because he
Okay.
is the Attorney General, and Roy Moore was like a super hardcore. He is a super hard conservative, and he won versus a Democrat because we all know how great Democrats are at winning elections these days.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
because they fucking shoot themselves in the feet by fucking rigging everything. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. Like that's just.
I
I
mean,
don't want to get into that whole
it's not
fucking.
surprising to me.
I don't want to get into that
Yeah,
whole argument again, or not argument. It's not even an argument because we all agree that Democrats
yeah. I mean,
fuck
it's just
themselves over every time that they do that.
yeah. I mean, I was watching a Kyle Kalinske video earlier, and he brought up something I didn't even really know. He was saying the Democratic Party after Trump's election that they're trying to be more conservative now. They think that is how they're going to win, populist,
No,
which is what we
Uh,
all know is what everyone wants. We all know it's what everyone wants. Even more, did you know more Republicans support the Bernie Sanders ish legislation. Like they support Medicare for all. They support free college. I mean, that's Republicans. Think about that.
yeah, I
Like
mean, you got to think about this. Okay,
that's what the people want, man. Like
I completely agree. It is what the people want. It's what our generation wants. But you know, when you live in a world that you're born into, and I mean, think about it. We're 18 years old, so we were born right into the generation where, I mean, what was it? We were fucking 8, 9 years old when the housing market crashed, and like, there's just a
yeah.
bunch of shit that previous generations have fucked up that we just kind of have adopted because we just were born
yeah,
into that time period, and I mean, it's unfortunate, but the only thing you can really do is, I mean, is change it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, speak out about it like this. I mean, that's what we're
yeah,
doing.
I mean,
Get people's attention so we need to vote people in office that aren't controlled by big
yeah, I
business.
mean,
'Cause that's the main thing. I mean,
well, the main problem is the fact that everybody fucking lobbies Congress, and I mean,
yeah, I
the
mean, it's
world
not real
is,
representation.
I wouldn't say the world, the free world is most definitely ran by oil companies. And if I'm not on the show, if I'm
Yeah.
not on this podcast on the next episode, it's because they killed me because I said this.
Yeah.
Because
Uh,
those motherfuckers are above the president. Like
oh yeah,
I
of
guarantee
course.
that they have better security than the fucking White House. Like those are big dick ballers. Them though they are running shit. Like it's scary. I don't like to think about it.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous how we've set things up in our capitalist society where money is basically the scepter of all power. Um, and yeah, capitalism is like the end all like fucking best system we could have created. I
I
mean,
mean,
I agree with
I
you.
think that
In a certain time period,
capitalism
it would
definitely
work.
has its upsides and its downsides, and I think that Joel would disagree with me on that. But I
Well, it's just a system made by fallible humans.
I
Like that's going to have cons and pros. You
the
know what I mean?
thing that troubles me about capitalism is that we're at a time period in human history where college students and young adults are forced to, I mean, getting making money I mean, it's basically on the same level now as just a primal instinct. I mean, I
It's
I
hunting,
treat
it's
yeah, I
gathering.
treat
You
getting
know?
money the same way as I treat eating, sleeping, drinking water, and like doing other shit. Like I treat it like it's something that has to be done, and that to me that's kind of shit. That kind of sucks because of the fact that
It's scary.
I mean it is
It
scary.
controls your
That's
time.
actually
It
the best way to
controls your
put it, is that it's
psychology.
scary because as much as I can sit here and say that it sucks, everyone else in the world is just going to tell you to stop bitching because everyone else has to do it. But just because
Yeah.
everyone else has to do it doesn't mean that it's okay. It doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that it's right for young adults
Oh
and
shit.
fucking kids to be fucking focusing on money like of all things. Like come
Yeah. I
on.
mean,
I don't think that. I
I
don't know
mean,
why Trent got dropped from the call, so I'm gonna try to fix that.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but it's scary because of the fact that you can't get anywhere in this fucking world without money. If you want to be an artist, guess what? You need money. You want to be like anything. You want to open a business. You want to do something. You want to do your passion, your fucking dream. Guess what? You need money, and it sucks, but I guess I mean everyone has to do it, so that makes it okay.
Yeah. And the worst thing about
Oh
that,
my God, what?
he's calling
Okay,
us.
no, he's getting added to the call. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
The worst, like, look, the worst thing, the worst thing about the system we find ourselves in isn't necessarily that we need money.
Trent, you
To
there?
me, it's just that it's unfair. Hey, Trent, are you there?
Yeah, my call dropped.
Oh, it's all good.
I don't
No,
know
that's
why.
all right.
We
Yeah.
were just kind of shooting the shit about
Yeah.
capitalism and basically the fact
So,
that you're born into a world where you're forced to treat a piece of paper the same way that you treat food and other necessities, and it just sucks.
yeah, this doesn't have to. I mean,
Um, uh,
like, I understand that it has to be that way right now, but we should be focusing on transitioning that system to better meet the economy of the future, not
yeah,
pretending.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
So,
I definitely understand the logic of free markets because free markets are just a sensible thing. People want to be able to attain the things that they work for. It just makes sense. But when it comes to things like college and like healthcare, that those things are becoming increasingly necessary, and they need to be increasingly provided. And the simple fact is, not everyone can afford them at this point.
and my thing is like, you know, life and the universe inherently has no meaning. We are the custodians of life's meaning. You know, we create systems. So why not make education a right? You know what I mean? Why not? Why not
Exactly.
transition the system that way?
Because of the
It's not
fact
like,
that there are just, I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. There are a lot of people who don't like the idea of children being entitled to schooling and
yeah,
food and housing, and
just because they weren't,
yeah,
they're jealous of that potential
that
opportunity.
to me is the most disgusting mentality that a person can ever have, because of the fact that how can you be so bitter as a grown ass adult to think that a child that has no understanding of anything doesn't deserve to have the most basic education in food and water and shelter. Like, and that, it goes as far as every human being, but you have to, I mean, you have to fucking start somewhere. I mean, it's the same way
I
with the
mean,
Saudi Arabia shit. You
the sen-
have to, there's
yeah,
obviously got to be small steps taken, and I think that providing free education, free, I mean, at least a free high school education to kids should be a thing. I don't think that people should be forced to fucking pay. Like it doesn't make any sense.
yeah. I mean, it just, it
We live
just,
in
it
a
just
time
depends on how you want to view your
we live in
society.
a time period where you have the ability to look up anything and answer any question that you want practically, and and people are still being charged to go to high school and sit in a fucking building for 8 hours and just be drilled into your head the same thing with a schooling system that's so outdated that it just doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work. And
Well,
anybody with a
y-
brain knows that the public education system in the United States does not work.
I mean, think about it like this: like, who does it benefit? Like, so let's say you have in high school, you know, you discourage curiosity and creative thinking, so you kind of emotionally scar every single population that goes through high school.
Yeah.
To obedient workers, and that's it. They run your Walmarts, they run your amusement park that you call a country. That's it. Um, because of course, in this particular time period, we need people to staff those ridiculous. People need to stack boxes and get paid for it. Just because I want you to replace them yet. So why not, from the time they are children, psychologically condition them to become workers? It's a perfect way to get profits. A perfect way to build enterprises like McDonald's or Walmart.
I mean, and it's funny that we are given just enough freedom to do a little bit of what you want and to not question anything. And
Yeah,
it just makes people stagnant. It just makes people comfortable with the idea of being forced
com-
to wake up way well earlier than what any human being should be forced to wake up for every 5 days a week. Keep that in mind. And go sit in a fucking building full of teachers that are underpaid, that don't want to be there, that treat you like shit because they're underpaid and don't want to be there. Um, I think that it just doesn't benefit anybody. I think that it's a system that forces everybody to lose, and I think that in order
so that a few people can win.
exactly, I think that the way that public education is set up is like you said it perfectly. It creates workers. It creates people who can follow instructions, and then that's it. They don't want, because
Yeah,
public education doesn't want they don't want creative thought. They don't want people who think outside the box and
yeah, because
artists.
they might try to
And
change the system.
exactly, because of the fact that too much creativity and someone might catch on to the whole fucking the whole thing that's going on, and then we'll have a new public education system, because and they don't want that. That's the problem. I don't even know who they is, or oh, goddamn, that was so fucking terrible. I don't even know who they are, is what I meant to say.
It's all right.
Basically, to wrap up, what I was trying to say was that the system that is in place right now does not work, and if we are to do something about it, then we need to figure out why it is exactly that nothing's changed. Like,
Yeah, it's question. Just follow
I,
where the money leads.
I mean,
Well, I
That's
think
really all.
if you really think about
um,
it,
All right, Trent.
how long have people been talking about the American education system? How long have people like I honestly might
I mean, since we were in grade school, since we were fucking
I might
kids,
delve into that,
everyone
because
said it was
I
shit.
was gonna say I definitely feel like I've heard my parents for years say that the United States education system is fucking terrible. And it's kind of funny because of the fact that I mean, it's granted it's only been like a decade, so I guess really you can't expect that much to change, but everything's the same. Nothing's changed. If anything, it's worse because they're cutting funding,
Yeah,
and then they expect
yeah.
fucking high schools to run
And
on little to nothing. They're
well,
paying
and think
teachers
about
they're
this.
paying teachers less money than what you would make as a car salesman. Like this, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, we have
and I mean,
go no,
think about the fact that the people who make legislation to give rules to schools, to give grants, to give money, those people is to be a senator or a congressman. They only get elected if they capitulate to corporate masters that give them enough money to run on. Um, so think about that. I mean, I mean, like, once again controls even the most subtle things like schooling. No, do you have something to add to that, Trent? Like about this whole like capitalism school kind of discussion here?
I mean, I was thinking more of like at the college level. You guys have been talking a lot
Yeah.
about high school. I think
All right.
really in any
college
kind of like,
disgusting, dude. Don't even get me started.
but I mean in any kind of elementary education system, K through 12 really, I think it's important to encourage children to learn rather than making them feel obliged to memorize certain facts.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are some things that you need to know. Like you need to know 2 + 2 = 4. Like obviously you need to know how to fucking read.
Right, but those are things that you could just figure out yourself if you were encouraged to study math, if you were taught that it was a useful thing, instead of just being taught some sort of repetitive algorithm.
Well, yeah, I mean, that just goes back to the point of the whole system just needs reworked. It just needs revamped. I mean, honestly, there's I could probably name 1.5 million things wrong, and that I could think of in my head a better way to do it than how the United States is doing it. Because it's all Common Core, or I don't they don't follow Common Core anymore. I don't even know what they follow anymore, but it's all
Something way more,
something way more rigorous and way fucking stupid, way more retarded than what it needs to be.
way less conducive to human psychology. Just just absolute stewardship of the word education. It is embarrassing to the memories of people who actually made the world a better place, like Isaac Newton, like that, to call this education. This is not education. This is a glorified job training program. When you get a scholarship to go to college, it shouldn't be called scholarship. That word should not be used to mean some money you're rewarded. We owe it to the people who changed the world, devoted their lives to discovery, to make this world as free and opportune as possible. Education should be a right in every meaning of the word.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think you concluded that fairly well. I wanted to
Do
add.
you have
yeah.
anything to say,
Oh
Trent?
yeah, go for it.
I mean,
Trent.
really, I was just gonna say that. I mean, I've been in college for a while now, for a couple months, and something I've just really noticed is that it's not really content focused, it's grade focused, it's course focused, it's getting to your degree focused. You're not really taught to
Yeah.
appreciate the material. You're not really encouraged to study things that you enjoy or that interest you. You study whatever is going to help you make money.
Yeah, I mean, the first words your professor says in engineering classes, who's ready for those internships? And everyone laughs as if that's just okay, as if being an engineer means making products for consumerist culture, using science to benefit humanity
You want to know?
and improve the lives of people who need
You
it.
want to
Right.
know my problem with college? I think.
It's a degree factory.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a degree factory. It's an overglorified job training program. It's all that. I think that you're right. It is fucking stupid that you go into a college and you pay, I don't even know, fucking 10, we'll lowball it and say 10,000 a semester for a university. And
because they know you need
Yeah,
it.
because they know you
Then
need it.
why not
Because if
charge
you,
as
yeah, I
much?
mean, if you don't get a degree from a prestigious university that doesn't cost $10,000, then you're not going anywhere. So you have to pay the
Yeah,
ten
I
thousand
mean,
dollars. You walk in and you set up a meeting with your advisor, who is just a basically just an overpaid counselor, and yeah, they just sit you down and they ask you what you want your major to be, and if you're undecided, then they basically just they give you kind of just a bunch of shit to do in the meantime until you figure out your life. And I honestly, if
yeah,
I
as if 18-year-olds know what they want to do.
exactly, I think that a lot of the reason that people who pick undecided drop out is because of the fact that they're not encouraged by anybody to do anything. They just get you go into your advising office, and you tell them, "Hey, I don't, I'm undecided, blah blah blah." You set up a schedule, and then you fucking hate college, and then you drop out that semester and never go back because of the fact that you didn't have the proper advising. I think that that's stupid. I think that it's college. College is a scam. It's a complete cash grab.
Yeah, I mean,
There,
you know what sucks? You know what sucks? When you walk into a classroom full of people studying to be engineers, and they're all just like chanting to themselves in their mind that this is what they want to do. It has nothing to do with the fact that engineering is a lucrative field, and they need money to survive, to buy their freedom to do other things. Um, that's too uncomfortable of a thought, so they just bury it in this weird idea they're doing what they want to do. Because we're beings who evolved to hunt and reproduce in the plains of Africa. So building chairs clearly must be something we that serves the soul. You know, do you have anything to add to that, Trent?
yeah, Trent, you're
Um,
awful quiet, man. Are you doing all right, buddy?
He's
uh,
he's thinking of some
I was
fire.
gonna say, like, you gonna spit some bars on us or something? Like, what's up, dude? No,
um,
honestly, I think that
uh,
like I don't
I
think
mean,
colleges should be allowed to charge as much as they do for tuition.
And I mean, it should just be publicly funded.
right. You
I
can't
don't even
really.
think the tax dollars should go into it. I just think that tuition does not need to be that fucking expensive. You mean to tell me that it costs $10,000 per semester per student to run a campus like the one that I'm talking about? Like, you know exactly which one I'm talking about, Trent. It does not cost that much
Yeah,
money
because
to
I mean,
run that
I go to
fucking
school there.
campus. It does not. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to fucking believe that. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, and
How
think
many
about how many
students
people
go there?
go
I'm gonna
there.
fucking do the math. I'm gonna do the math right now.
There are thousands of
Oh
people
no, I'm gonna
enrolled.
do the fucking math.
So, all right. So, what time, like, how long have we been recording for? Like, what time benchmark is it?
Okay,
It's been a
undergraduate
good few minutes.
enrollment of
Okay.
12,504 students. Let's see how much we'll do off-campus tuition, so that way we'll get the cheapest one. Off-campus tuition. Let's see. Okay, off-campus total for one semester is about 5 grand. So you have 12,000 kids paying $5,000 per semester, which equates to $62 million. I want to
Jesus fucking
let's see how
Christ.
many how much staff Wright State has.
Hey, after that, look up how much the dean makes at Ohio State.
How
It's gonna make
big?
you,
Let's see.
it's gonna make you laugh really hard, I think.
Oh, we won't even look at staff. We'll just look at professors.
So Trent, do you know how long it's been since we started?
Uh, well, it's been like 15 minutes since you guys called me.
Oh, I started
after the
recording 29 minutes ago, so we can actually wrap up if you guys want. I guess I'm not gonna have time to do
Yeah,
the math for that, but
I
62
actually
million
had something I wanted.
dollars per semester. I mean, that's you're getting 62 million every 6 months. I think that that's a little fucking ridiculous. It does not take that much to run a college. I'm
yeah. I
sorry.
mean,
Pay the professors what they
not
need,
not one the size of
buy the
that one.
resources that you need to give to the students, and then give. Don't charge. Like, it's simple. Like, don't, like, I don't know. It just sucks. It's a fucked up system. Fucked
I
up
mean,
world we live in.
I did have something I wanted to say about Roy Moore.
All
Who
right.
got elected to the Senate. I think it's really a repeat of kind of the Trump fever. You know, when Donald Trump
Yeah.
was on the campaign trail, he was saying outrageous things. It got people's attention. It got people to like him because he stated things very simply. He encapsulated their beliefs in a few short sentences. And if you look at Roy Moore, he can be just as outrageous at certain times. I have no doubt that the people of Alabama had similar thoughts about him.
Well, also think about the people of Alabama. uh, Not exactly the most beautiful picture of human rights that state is. Uh,
I mean,
so, what other topics do you want to?
do you guys want to keep going, or I thought we were wrapping up?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's close to the 30-minute mark, isn't
Yeah, I
it?
mean, we're about to hit 35. I'm pretty sure. Oh,
I
never mind.
mean,
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
yeah,
no, no.
yeah.
We're
Well,
at 31.
all right. Well, we'll wrap it up then. Do you guys have anything closing you want to say,
No,
really?
I mean, other than just
I mean, I'm ecstatic about the channel.
yeah,
I mean, I'm happy
I'm.
we
I think that things are going pretty nice. I
we're learning how to naturally like trade off conversation,
I think that yeah, I mean,
stuff
we've
like
had some
that.
pretty interesting talking points, and I enjoy doing it. I don't have anything better to do with my fucking time, so I need some type of hobby other than extracurriculars and going to work.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I hope we can, we want to try to upload what at least weekly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would assume at least weekly. I'd probably more than that, to be honest with you. I have a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah, me
Actually,
too.
I take that back. I don't have a lot of time on my hands, but I'm trying to. I mean, I'm trying to do something other than just work all the time. And
Something
yes,
meaningful.
exactly. So
This is art. This is content.
yeah,
People are going to get inspired by our ideology, either positively or negatively,
yeah. I
whatever.
mean,
But at least we're participating in the free marketplace of ideas.
exactly. It's something. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up. Good
All
episode.
right.
If
All right.
you
Yeah,
like
if
what
you
you, I
liked
was gonna say,
it,
if you like what you see, don't feel free to subscribe. That is
hit
all.
like
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say you know the
hit
rest.
like and all that shit, all that good shit that improves our chances
Yeah,
of getting
all
seen.
the we'll
yeah,
get all
yeah.
the begging out at the fucking end.
I know, I know we're already popular enough,
Yeah, I was
but
gonna say, goddamn,
we don't. Yeah.
fucking we're at the 2 digit mark with the subscribers. Keep it coming. Like, all right, I'm out of here.
I'm gonna say that earlier I posted something on Snapchat uh, about the thing in Saudi Arabia about women getting the right to drive,
Yeah.
and I noticed that some of my Muslim friends saw it, and I guess they took offense because they were
Oh
screenshotting it and
yeah.
shit. Yeah, and so I'm not gonna be surprised if I have some heated conversations about that.
Oh, I mean,
But I will try to keep it civil. If I hear anything interesting, I will certainly
All right.
transpose that subject matter onto this
yeah, I
format.
was gonna say that's definitely if something interesting happens, that'll be a good talking point for the next episode. But all right, we're getting the fuck
All
out of
right.
here. Peace.
Yeah.
Okay.